Hey, you there, gorgeous individual. You've stumbled onto part 2 of the 2-part video that I did on Nectar. To watch part 1, you can click the top right corner. If you're here of your own agency, welcome to the video. Please subscribe and enjoy. Track number 13, Afterthought. Joji has a producer credit.
So lost in these diamonds, so lost in this paradise. No speed on that highway. We need you to shine bright when life gets too complicated. Will you stand with me after dark? I'll stay in
There's so much regret
like a beautiful
overall in just George's music.
Sometimes you test me
Sad.
for something different. Hate it when you did it. I wish that you did. Wanna forget about you. I don't wanna forget about you.
Like a beautiful afterthought. It's a little heart-wrenching. Man, if I can heavily relate to that, given how, yeah, just some personal friendships have gone as I've reflected on them this past year or so. But Jesus Christ, there's a very hefty amount of regret on these songs. I guess I never noticed it until now, but the sad boy vibes are here to stay. Sad to say. I rhymed that on purpose. I'm fascinated by how well all the features have gone over so far. I hope you're just as shocked as I am, because this is cool. Did not expect it. I was nervous about the amount of features, I guess, but this feels like the album that'll just bring Joji up again, or like it'll just like continue to solidify his name in the zeitgeist as this very specific type of sound. And I'll be excited to see what else he could be heard on. It's very cool. I mean, he's like, every feature that he's done with every other artist has gone well, in my opinion. It's just that features on his own songs have not been super good. I guess he hasn't had that many, but anyways, this is the Kenny Beats track, I think. Mr. Hollywood, track number 14. Yeah, something happened over here. Very cool. Just for a second.
Mr. Hollywood, won't you come back soon? She said, Mr. Hollywood, won't you come back soon? She said, Mr. Hollywood, won't you come back soon? She said, more by the way you move, I know you want me to tell you all the rules. I know I'm searching to give me all your clues and things to guide.
Yeah, the track is a lot more separated and cleaner.
The end of the world. Don't blow out the fuse.
So much happening as well in the back. Beautiful, beautiful song. Beautiful song. It came over really, really well. The track is I wouldn't say significantly cleaner, but it's definitely a standout. I feel like if you just heard it, you'd be like, oh, like, why does this one sound so different from all the rest? It's yeah, this definitely has a very unique. It has a very unique sound to it. You could almost feel like the production is is, I guess, a little bit cleaner, but also like some of the elements are recurring from like a couple of previous tracks, especially the drum loop. It feels like it's been on here before. Yeah, I'm curious into how how the production shifted, or how exactly that came to be. Yeah, because it seems like the engineering credits are literally like given only onto like a few people that have been recurring all throughout the album, and there's not really a significant change in the number of contributors, Joji being one of them. Like they're all like just sort of like the same 4 or 5 people, yet the sounds all seem to have like a relative inconsistency to them. Not in a bad way. Like, please don't get me wrong. It's just, why is what I'm. There's a couple of questions I have. Track number 15, 777. Some like synthy stuff happening. Robots.
We were never the same, are you out of your mind? I don't like strings, no ties. I don't wanna keep you dreaming, you waste your time. I don't need strings, no lies. You needed something to believe in. 200 miles in the evening, super speeding. Are you leaving right now? When I pretend that I'm your boyfriend, I'll pour the drink so don't annoy me. Are you lonely? Cause I'll be gone.
It disappeared
to
for a
the
bit.
next when the sun's up. Blame it on me, you can blame it on me. Feeling your touch 200 miles in the evening, super speeding. Are you leaving right now? When I pretend that I'm your boyfriend, I'll pour the drink so don't annoy me. Are you lonely? Cause I'll be gone till the next when the sun's up. Blame it on me, you can blame it on me.
I'm having trouble understanding it. It's not heavy-handed with the vibe as the other ones. It feels a little bit more loose, and I don't feel like it adds anything in particular. It sort of works off of the same stuff, maybe even to a lesser degree. It's strange that it's like it's not strange that it's here, but it's like I don't feel like I would miss it. Then again, it is a first reaction, but I don't know. It didn't invoke any powerful feeling as all the other ones before it, for the most part. So this is, man, I guess there needed to be a lull. They can't all be winners. There needed to be a downer. I didn't expect it to be this one, for no particular reason. I just didn't expect one, period. Alrighty. Track number 16, Reanimator. I love that they just let it be an instrumental for a while there, because there's certainly so much happening.
The sun is not the brightest thing. The choir sings to an empty world of finer things. Even though it burns, I'm trying to think. You know I am washing over you.
I love this track. I love this track so much. Anything that unpretentiously and just fully commits to the idea of just contributing to the vibe and just developing an atmosphere and like just working on a feeling, I immediately have respect for, and I immediately really like. It is just who I am. You can see the fucking album in the background. It's just fucking sounds and bleep bloops. I appreciate instrumentals in the context of albums that are relying on vocals. a lot because it is sort of like the canvas is like, how good of a painting can you really do if your canvas is fucking garbage and you've got no primer on it? You've got to have primer. And these long passages of instrument, these long passages of just like vibe building. This is exactly how you fucking prime a vocal thing. If anything, I'd want more of this and more spread throughout. I feel like that would maybe paint like the album fully, I guess, into I'm just designing the album at this point. That's different. I'm happy with the way that it is. I'm happy with the way that George chose to curate it. But it's just my preference. It's just my dumb fucking opinion. Take it or leave it. Yeah, beautiful track. I loved it. Yeah, like the sounds of it, I've said I must have said distorted like 50 times already, but yeah, the distorted nature of the like this whole thing is just like, it just helps contribute to the whole thing too, like the menacing redness present within the album cover and like just everything inside. It is such a vibe. It is such a vibe. Oh, the penultimate track number 17. A 4-minute cut at that. Is this the longest one here? Yes. 4 minutes. Let's go.
Painless, painless. If you ever go, all the songs that we like will sound like bittersweet lullabies.
Jesus.
If you ever go, all
The subtle touches of bass add so much.
Will sound like bittersweet lullabies. Lost in the blue, they don't love me like you do. Those chills,
This is making me really emotional.
they were nothing without you. And no one loves me like you do.
This is such a fucking sad song. The tone of this is heart-wrenching. It makes me fucking want to die inside. It is so incredibly sad. It is so incredibly sad. It's a really emotional track for me. It's got very reminiscent vibes of videotape off of In Rainbows, but in a very, very different way. But it sort of invokes the same feelings in me to a lesser extent. But because I'm just more like, because here I'm less like sad, and I'm just more like emotional, like contemplative type of sad, or like I'm not like inconsolably broken like videotape left me from In Rainbows. It's an emotional track. I'm at a loss for words. It's so beautiful. The bare bones of the instruments, the subtle bass, and just the piano. It's just like, it is so emotionally just like, you could almost sense it. Like it has like a smell. It has a taste. It's very, very real. Like it comes out at you in an unapologetic way. It feels like a very, very genuine letter. It's a beautiful track. I absolutely love it. I have a couple of favorites. I have 3, but I'm gonna list them down in the description as well. By the time I've heard these songs more than a couple times for sure. And the writing is so simplistic, but it's pretty. Lost in the blue, they don't love me like you do. Those chills that I knew, they were nothing without you. And everyone else, they don't matter now. You're the one I can't lose. No one loves me like you do. I'm sad now. Thanks, George. Son of a bitch. Track number 18. The final track. I can't believe I'm here. I've been waiting for this for so fucking long. And now I get to have it for a long time. Your man. It's a strange send-off. I'm still caught up in like you do.
We should go again. Don't be down when it's over, baby. Yeah. I'll be your man.
Engage with this track. I can't engage with this track. After like you do, I'm like stuck there. I feel like if it sounded like that throughout the entire song, maybe there would have been a compelling argument, but let's just get straight into final thoughts. I have a lot to say. Okay, so there's a strange thing that happened to me with this album. So let me just explain it. Let me just explain it this way. There's two worlds out there. There's two worlds that Joji wants to be in, or is capable of being in, right? He can sing really well, he can carry a falsetto, he can engage character, he can write, he can compel, he could scream, and he can have these like gigantic moments of sonic presence. That's this hand, right? This is here. This is right here, right? And then there's this whole other side where he wants to be, where he could be expressive. There's a weird edge. There's like humor. There's there's this like weird experiments with sounds and like sonicescapes and concepts and elaboration in terms of the writing, sometimes even in like maybe interesting directions. And that's here. That's this hand, right? Now Joji, with this bloated 18-track listing, explores both, as he's done before, maybe more so than he's ever done before, but still in a very similar vein. However, by having one foot out the door and one foot in a completely different door, neither end up being the full experience of what either could be. Now, that's not a bad thing. He could have made an album that was just the collection of songs that was when he was like just singing really loud, and that would have been his like Adele album, right? And he could have made the other one where it could have been his experimental like fucking Kid A, right? Whatever level of that is, that he can like produce within the aesthetic atmosphere that he's built and is comfortable producing these beautiful songs in. Well, I feel like he's equally letting you know that like, I can do this, I can do that, I'm gonna do them both, and two very different types of people can enjoy this album. This album is sort of like a strange listen because so many people can learn to experience it and get different things out of it. I feel like if you weren't a Joji fan before, this is definitely the album that would turn you into somebody who's a fan, because there is really something in here for you. While the track listing is a bit bloated, the songs don't really overstay their welcome, and the runtime is actually pretty tight at 53 minutes. If you really think about it, it's kind of a freak of nature type album, if it's able to do that. Do you know what I mean? So that's cool as fuck. I really like this album. I kind of felt that this was what was gonna happen, in terms of like, I think he's very comfortable doing either, so he was gonna do both. I didn't think he was gonna choose one over the other. He did both, And for better or for worse, they both have very intriguing qualities, and they're both present on here in a clean, nice little bow tie, like bow wrapped. What the fuck am I even saying? It's the sun's almost coming up. But yeah, think about it this way as well. There's several features on here that all went over with flying fucking colors. I highly appreciate that. There's some incredible highlights. It almost feels like there's two very different albums here. I feel like this could have been a double LP or a 2-disc album, or maybe an EP and an LP, right? Like, it feels like we got a lot of songs. Maybe some of them definitely didn't contribute as much as the others. 777 and Your Man immediately stick out as almost non-contributors to the overall album. Like, why are they there? That confuses me a lot. A moment like on the track number 17, like you do, a moment like that should have ended the album in an emotional grip that would have left me haunted. I would have cried for days, just thinking and rethinking and rethinking and rehearing that song. But the fact that it just immediately went to Your Man is fucking shocking. I couldn't even listen to that last song. It just felt so weird. Why? It's like this powerful consistency. There is a lot of it that's just dense and pure and nice, but it's just like every once in a while there's just a weird fucking decision. I don't know what I'm missing. But I want to say I'm very incredibly pleased with the album. I'm very happy with the way that it came out. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm gonna keep on enjoying it a lot, a lot. I've got my other merch coming too, I hope. I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of this, dude. It's insane. I'm so happy it's here. I can't wait for more. There's definitely so much more. Now that I feel like now that George has been able to intensify his aesthetic and wrap it up in a very, very clean. The suck my nuts line is still stuck in my head. So fucking, I love that. Now that he's able to condense and intensify his aesthetic and present it in such a clean packaging, I feel like he's perfected this chapter of his artistic career, and whatever comes next is going to be a step forward. Because now I feel like, as somebody who's been listening to him from the very beginning, I feel like from the Chloe Burbank days, I feel like he's pulled everything that he can pull out of that on a professional, high quality, and powerfully expressive level. I feel like he's stretched the limit of the ideas that he can pull from that to the max. In a nice way. Like, he's sort of explored every aspect of it. Maybe there's more. He's the artist. He'll be able to tell. Maybe there's more to explore, but I feel like now that he's done everything that there is to do, not with his sound, he has so much more to offer. I know it in my heart. He has so much more. But he's done so much in exploring this part of his career. And he's done such a fantastic job. He's left no sound unexplored and no vibe untouched, and he's all just done it in his own way. And there's more to come, I guess, in the development of these sounds, but maybe in separate directions. Because I don't think that they can, because they're so potent, the singing and the experimentation, they are present on separate tracks. When he's singing, he's not experimenting, and when he's experimenting, he's really not singing. So these are present on separate tracks. I feel like the only real way to move forward is if he started exploring those separately. I feel like offering these sounds and exploring them separately might be super interesting. Or seeing where he could go with them individually, because they're so potent and they're so fully grown that there's just I feel like at some point in the future they might even start to clash. But yeah, thanks so much for watching the video. If you've made it this far, you're great. I love you. Thank you so much. This has been such an experience. I'm so happy to have done this, and I'm so happy to have done this with you. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch a lot less now. I feel like I want to focus more on YouTube, plus like my living situation doesn't really allow me to stream that much anymore. My internet and whatever. I might get, I'm definitely gonna get that sorted soon, and I'll definitely do live streams eventually. It's just that YouTube is just so much more rewarding for me, and I feel like so much more comfortable in a space here. I hope you understand. Do check me out on Twitter, and do come to my Twitch as well if you want to hang out and stuff. When I eventually do, but I'm mostly on Twitter and I'm mostly on here, so please feel free to come hang out, drop a comment, leave suggestions. I'd love to hear it all. Thank you so much. Peace. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. It's up there. You're almost left, didn't you? You son of a bitch, I got you. Subscribe to the channel. Here's a couple videos you might enjoy.